What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Let Me Finish. This is your boy Dom.
This is your boy Greg.
And this is Antonio, who apparently does not finish a lease.
One thing Antonio's not gonna do is
Finish a lease.
As was stated in episode one.
Put it on a T-shirt. Look, we got our first coffee mug.
Hey, when you're making that money, you don't even got to worry about leases. What's the contract?
What's the contract? It's just a piece of paper. He rips it in half and calls the city in bitches.
And laughs while he's doing it.
I definitely laughed because I saw code compliance outside my apartment the other day, and I just wanted to go talk to them, and I didn't, but I should have.
What? How do you just? Why are you besties with code compliance?
What is?
You're like the teacher's pet.
I told you,
Very,
he's the
teacher's pet.
Karen of his apartment complex.
Yeah, you need to have solidarity with your other fellow tenants.
Right.
No, listen, me and the tenants rock with each other. It's the management that I don't rock with, but
Okay, so
me
you're
and the tenants are
actually
good.
like bringing up important issues to the code compliance on
starting
behalf of the tenants.
You're starting the union for your apartment complex.
I hope that entire building, half of them don't even know. Actually, I made friends with another neighbor the other day who's trying to like talk to me about some work. So another networking opportunity. So,
Oh my goodness.
I'm making things happen in the community.
Y'all should go on strike.
If we have to,
Right? Say we're not living here.
Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of Let Me Finish. If you came back for the second episode, I officially love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, second helping.
Yes, you just couldn't get enough, huh?
Yeah, you weren't full. You left full, but just like good Chinese food, you were hungry in 30 minutes. Or a week at least.
Or sushi.
So, what's been going on this week, guys?
I've had a pretty chill week. Did anything dramatic happen to me?
Are you asking us?
No, I'm thinking in real time because normally I'm like, oh, a bunch of shit happened,
Yeah,
but
shit went down.
I had jury duty on Tuesday.
That's huge. I've never gotten called in for jury duty.
Really? You better knock on wood.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to be in like a murder trial and take off work, get paid like $5 an hour.
You would.
they upped the pay to $20 a day for day one,
I'm in.
making that money. But no, it was I ended up getting dismissed after a couple hours. I actually did kind of want to at some point in life I do want to sit on a real trial.
Right.
Granted, I think it's weird how they sit hundreds of people in this building and
Yeah.
because I don't trust people, and I think people are dumb a lot of times. Not everybody, but I don't trust the judgment of a lot of people. So why?
Well, they didn't trust your judgment because you didn't get picked.
Well, no.
And it's a lot that you have to go through to even still get picked. Like, you have to get interviewed after that. They ask you about your background and stuff.
It's just like you really gotta want to be there.
Yeah, you really have to want it. And like I've been once, and I looked at my number and I was like, man, I have a really high number. And then you sit in that room with all the people and you see the numbers pop up on the screen of like people getting called to go, and you're like, oh my gosh, the number's getting higher and higher. I hope like my number's high enough to where I don't get selected. And luckily I did not get selected.
There was some part of you that wanted to get picked.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I feel like I have main character syndrome where I'm like, I'm gonna be on the jury and I'm gonna be the one person.
You're gonna be that one problematic person.
But you're not even the main character.
It's not about
The
you.
person on trial is.
It's literally not about you. But
What is going on?
yeah, but I think that's the only thing I had this week, just the jury duty. The rest of the week's been pretty chill. Oh, I'll say one thing real quick, and I'm not gonna harp on it too much. I think something is happening in the month of October. I think as the fall season comes, I feel like people are getting very emotional.
Oh,
And one thing I'll say is I think it's because I've been a little more active on my social media, like
Okay.
my photography social
You
media.
have.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's so funny that you mentioned that, because I was actually going to bring up your social media, because you posted a really cool picture, and your caption says something about can't wait for my next hike or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, I'll be missing out. I'm too busy with our Let Me Finish Twitter.
To be on Instagram. But no, yeah, the only thing I'll say about October is I think as the fall hits, I think people do generally become more emotional because since I've been more active on my photography page, not personal page, a lot of people who I've known in the past, like no issues, no bad blood with anybody, but a lot of people that I've at some point been intimate with have been reaching out in the last week a lot, and it's just out of nowhere.
Is it just like, hey, how you doing? Like,
We know
is
it.
it that kind of thing, or is it like?
Let's be honest.
I
Let's
think
be
it's
honest.
funny how
No.
You have time to hike.
No,
You didn't have
no,
time
no,
to
no.
answer
Or
mid-text.
I miss you. Come hold me type of situation.
I like
Hold me or do other stuff. But you know what it is like. But you know what happens? It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind when people don't see you for a while. Because I went ghost like on some social media for a hot second, and I even Facebook deleted that. So my presence has been
minimal.
very.
So
now that I'm kind of popping up in a certain way, I think it's like, oh, I remember him, like shit like that. So yeah, that's
maybe. Well, hey, maybe you need attention in October.
I don't.
Why are you posting all of a sudden?
Because I'm advertising my professional career. It's not a
You're putting you're looking out for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
great.
networking.
which I think me posting more is going to help me with this, and as we go more into our trying to get things moving and shaking as far as our presence.
Wait, so you're trying to like build a side hustle off of the back of the success
no, my side hustle. I always have a side hustle. I keep a job anyway, but no, but that's it. That's been
If you
it.
want to do an ad for your own business, pay us.
That's true.
I'm literally going to record an ad and just drop it in the episode, and then
my goodness.
yeah.
I
So
wouldn't even know.
I would.
yeah,
I didn't never hear an ad once.
yeah. But no, that's my week. So I've had a pretty chill week.
Well, good. I'm not to like harp on it any longer, but like the whole hiking thing. Are you a hiker?
I love
Is that your thing?
I love being outdoors, and I'll tell you exactly why real quick. Is the thing about outdoors is because my mind races so much. Like I never have a dull moment in my brain. Mm-hmm. I like hiking, biking, working certain activities because being physical is a dopamine fix, but it helps me fixate on one thing because when I'm hiking, my phone service usually doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm not on my phone. I'm not, it's the one of the few times in life where everything stops and you're just in that moment. Like, it's just, let me make it this 5 miles.
You turn on some good music and it's just very like that clouds out the other part of your brain. So
Yeah.
you just vibe.
Are you on the hike train too?
I mean, I live right next to the
You really
Trinity River Trail.
Let me tell you, there's nothing-
I'm hiking right now.
There's nothing I dislike more than a hike.
You don't like to walk, though?
I'm not. There's nothing attractive about hiking.
It's peaceful.
To me. I'd rather go on a bike ride or something.
What
It's
about
more
just a walk?
exciting.
What about with
Maybe.
like a slight hill?
Maybe.
Instead of slight
that's,
hill.
that's still considered a hike. Like,
Greg said, walk up a
I don't know
hill.
what it is about people in our community. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, let's go on a date. Would you love to go on a hike?" And I'm like,
That's a great,
absolutely
listen,
not.
listen, if someone asked me on a hiking
I'm
date,
not.
yo,
Are you afraid you get too sweaty?
yeah, you don't like being hot or cold. No, you're
No, I just don't want to be outside, just like walking. I don't feel like that's like a date. It doesn't sound fun.
Dom?
I don't get the funness of like.
It's not about-
climbing
it's not-
through trees and stuff.
So it's not about
like
fun.
A bonding experience.
Is
and
it?
It's like
Yeah.
like he said, your phone's away.
'Cause
you're
everything else
doing
goes away.
something,
Yeah.
You're like out. It's an adventure.
Nature is beautiful when you really,
know?
when you ground yourself. Nature is beautiful.
You get to show off your like
Okay.
navigation skills.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Amazing. Okay.
You get to show off your Boy Scout skills.
Dom is
Were you a
like,
Boy Scout?
No, I'm black.
Dom is.
I don't know
There's
any.
had to have been some black Boy Scouts.
I don't know one.
I don't know any either, and I'm not
Well,
trying
I
to.
don't know any Boy Scouts. Period.
Weren't you a
don't
Boy
know
Scout?
One Boy Scout.
You?
I know an Eagle Scout. Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing, right?
I have no
that's
idea.
like the highest level of Boy Scout you
Wait,
can get.
so
Well, I
you were
wouldn't
in
know.
Boy Scouts?
Well, I was, but it was like more of the age where we did arts and crafts. I never went on camp. Or
It still
anything like
counts though.
Yeah.
that. I mean,
So-
I just remember one Halloween party in the 90s.
90s. Ooh.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
wasn't
didn't.
that
I didn't
nice.
have that experience.
I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't get enough badges. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have enough follow through. I did stay long enough to do the derby cars, right? Like they had this hill and you all made these little rolly cars.
Oh, like cardboard boxes and stuff.
No, these were made of like wood blocks. And you like,
Oh no, that is not my experience. I'm sorry.
that's the 90s.
This is so.
Which
This is gonna be so fitting for our topic. I love it.
Right. So my week this week has not. I mean, nothing has really happened this week. This week it feels like it's going by pretty fast for the most part. Just still taking swimming lessons, which is going really well for those of us who are wondering.
Listeners, yeah, they came in directly from swim lessons,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I mean, they said they were going to smell like chlorine, and I was like, oh, I love that smell. Y'all don't smell like chlorine.
Well, we rinsed.
Yeah,
I can't say we showered because they didn't have soap, but
Yeah.
we rinsed the pool
got the
water. So
chlorine smell off us. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, I can officially say that I know how to swim. hear the cheers and clapping that I'm not allowed to put in the episodes anymore.
Is that a touchy subject?
But yes, I can officially say that I know how to swim.
That's very important, Dom. Very important.
And I'm
Okay.
and even more importantly, I've done it before Antonio.
Is that why
All right.
Tone was like, I'm gonna get some extra laps this Saturday? That's what he said.
I'm gonna say something.
Okay.
I think I realized at some point, every episode that we've ever done of this podcast, Dom has threw some shade.
I guess so.
Dom,
It's not like directed at just one person.
yeah, you throw a lot of shade in general. So
I
these are-
equally do.
Okay, wait, but he does this in real life.
Yeah.
It's not manufactured. This
I think
is
I'm
how
getting
he
used to this. I'm
talks.
still getting used to this with you. I know you do it, but
I
I'm getting used
mean,
to it.
for the most part, I'm the most chill person in the group. For the most
You
part.
just do it in
But
such a
you
chill
throw
way.
little curveballs where you're
Yeah.
like, "Rah,
But he,
I caught a stray.
yo,
Why?
but you know what it is? Dom says it's so chill and calm. You
Like,
like,
you didn't even take offense. To
I just got slapped, but it was kind of nice. Like,
Yeah.
but I still got
Not
slapped. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, there you go.
the shade.
But other than that, so, yeah, nothing much has really happened this week. I'm trying to think. I don't think anything exciting has happened. What's going on with you, Greg?
Yeah, what up?
Oh well, you guys know I went to the fair.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm so sorry that we couldn't make it.
Just didn't have enough.
One event that I organized.
I know.
It was fun. People came.
I'm glad you still went though.
No, it was. Oh my god, I had been years. And
Tell us all about it.
So fun, dude. I ate like you wouldn't believe. I left sick. Like I was just laying in my bed and was like, I was on this ride that like went around in circles real fast.
That's what
and,
they
like,
all do.
Flipped you up, and I was just felt like I was in bed like with all the fried food in my belly. I had like what was it? It was like sausage bites. I had half of a po' boy.
Wow.
I had the sandwich was called a mother clucker, and it had pimento cheese and like fried chicken. I don't know. I love the fair. I needed that dumb energy. I needed the lights. Like it was so fun. I'm going next week if y'all want to go.
Yeah,
And just like blowing like tickets like you're a rich person.
I was gonna say, how many tickets did you blow?
I mean, they're on the counter. What's left? I'm saving them.
Okay.
Did y'all win the Powerball that you didn't tell me about?
I wouldn't be here.
You would have quit the podcast?
No, I
I would have
wouldn't
quit
be
my
there.
job. but,
Yeah,
like, why
this
would
would
you
be
quit the
this would be
podcast?
fun.
It's not like you even got paid for this anyway.
I would have bought a studio for us.
This is
I
a-
know. I'd be
set
like,
up a whole
we're
bunch of-
recording good.
Right.
We're having a real audio engineer. No disrespect.
Well, apparently I gave the wrong answer, so I already got kicked out the pod.
See, it's not just me throwing strays. You can get
Actually, yo, Greg throws strays too.
Oh yeah, no rhyme or reason though. I guess I kind of you don't really though.
No, because I'm really pure and innocent, and I care about you guys.
One in here.
No, because when we were playing 2K, he was talking mad shit.
Oh no, that's different. Playing okay, no. I get aggressive when I get competitive. That's different.
Oh,
That's the only
okay.
time
Like what do you say?
I would jump in. And
This whack ass team, get that shit out of here. Just just like
Yeah, trash talking.
I love trash talking.
Okay, that's not shade
Yeah.
necessarily.
No, just yeah.
I would never talk bad about my friends because I love my friends.
Oh, you're meant. Wait, it's not shade behind our back. I don't think. I'd say that he's actually number one.
Yeah, he started so much stuff, and he probably still doesn't realize he was the starter of so much stuff.
I mean, he realizes it. He owned up to it. Does he feel bad about it? No.
There's some side conversations we need to have apparently.
In regards to the fair, like, what was probably the best thing you ate?
The best thing I ate a corn dog. I mean, I listed all the things I ate, but I also had a corn dog. I had a cherry limeade. They only sell wine there, so you'll get like a
They have beer.
margarita.
No, they have.
Beer too, but
Yeah.
like anything that's like liquor based in quotes is wine, right? They don't have like tequila for the margarita.
I think you're correct. They do sell margaritas, but I think you can't get a ranch water or
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't get
You can get a
good.
you can get a frozen
All
margarita.
about the sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it was a diabetic's nightmare and dream.
Heaven, yeah.
I have a friend that said one year he took a date to the fair and he was pissed off because he bought 100 tickets and that only got him like 4 things.
I was just about to
you probably
say.
didn't get laid,
No,
honestly.
I was gonna say the fair. That's my one issue. It's so expensive. I
Yeah.
get why they do tickets because they make more money off of it.
Oh, because you don't think about it. It was like a moot point that, like, at the end of the night, I was just like, yeah, I want a chicken sandwich. And it was like, oh, six tickets. And I'm like, oh, the tickets. You don't think about, like, handing them $6.
Yeah.
I just have tickets. And I had a lot more tickets in my pocket. So
That's
it was
crazy.
like, I spent,
Spent a lot of money.
I can actually tell you exactly.
Don't worry about it.
I'm curious.
You spent a lot of money. We know.
I'm curious.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been to the fair?
I don't like going to the fair every year. I enjoy the fair, but remember, I keep talking about things being repetitive. To me, going every year is kind of, but also I'm not from Texas. I know you're not either, Don,
No.
but I feel like if you're from Texas, it's just that thing you love to do.
No, I feel like people from Texas love to go to the fair.
Yes.
And people travel to come to the fair too.
The fact that the schools here get a day off for it,
Isn't
I was
that
like,
wild?
Yeah, because in school, like in Atlanta, we never got off for anything
No.
other than a regular holiday. There was no Atlanta Day. Or,
Right. There's no like a Tennessee State Fair that we're going to travel to or
Right.
anything.
Okay, I only spent $64. That's, not
That's
bad.
actually-
That's really not that bad.
Yeah.
It felt like more, actually.
Yeah. So what else? So do we need to recap on anything else?
I mean, we recapped a lot.
Yeah.
Last
Last episode we did
That was-
recap a lot.
We dug deep.
But
Yeah.
it felt good. It felt good to be back. It felt
Yeah.
good to be in this environment and talk to you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that first episode. We're going to dive in to episode number 2. And our topic this week, we're going to be talking about the era we all grew up in, the 90s, and what we miss about the 90s, some of the things that, we enjoyed about growing up during that time and how easy life was. Where do we want to start?
I mean, I think the 90s was the best decade.
Oh,
I'm biased.
I agree.
I'm biased, but like music was at its best. Like it was like pre-internet, but the internet came around and it was kind of wild,
That's a great point. The one thing I'll say that was great about us as in our era is that we grew up before internet, and then as it came in, and to me that gave us the benefit
Yes.
of we actually went outside. Like we
We're
had,
not,
actually
warped,
went outside.
you know?
yeah, like we played with Super Soakers. We went outside. We literally didn't have cell phones, but then we got all that, so it kind of makes us like the hybrid.
The hybrid
We're like the hybrid
We
generation.
are the hybrid
Yeah.
generation because any generation like before that, they got like the internet when they were adults.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
So we were like growing and becoming like adults as the internet was growing.
Yeah.
Becoming like a thing that we can't live without.
Yeah. Like
we
just
learned
just being able to just think about having that time point in your life to where social media and like the internet wasn't a thing. Like we still listen to the radio, how important it was to listen to certain stations.
Did y'all ever make requests on the radio or like?
I think
don't
I've
think we- I
I've
don't
tried to
know
call
that.
into radio stations. I've never got in, but yeah, never made a request. But I used to. I'm old enough to say I gotta say this. I'm old enough to where I remember recording songs off the radio on a cassette, like the cassettes that could record. You get
Yeah.
a blank tape, and like making sure like the DJ stopped talking, you hit the record button, and yes, I remember that.
That was like a really early mixtape.
Yeah, like
You had like all the songs you liked on there, and it was on one tape.
yeah, because like on the radio stations, they played the same. It's probably worse now, but they used to play the same 10 songs, and you end up loving half those songs. So you want to be able to play it in your tape deck at your headphones that's on the school bus, so you can
Right.
record your songs. And yeah, that was the first mixtape. So I used to make cassette
crazy.
tape.
And it's
stuff.
crazy to think about that, like when you just wanted to hear that one song.
I know.
And you had no other means but the
Yeah.
radio, so you had to call into the radio.
It had to be 7 o'clock and 7 to 9 when you were home. And
Exactly.
We had something called Kiss or Diss. It was Kiss FM. And basically, in middle school, it was like you would call in and everybody would be calling in. And they would either kiss somebody if they were dating somebody, or they would diss somebody if that girl did them wrong or that guy did them wrong, right? So I was
Sounds
in middle
inappropriate.
school, yeah, I diss somebody.
Now, but you know what?
Abby, fuck me.
I do miss like those little kind of corny radio things to call in. Like
Yeah.
I think they still have those, or radio just isn't prominent, but just those little fun things you would listen to every morning. Like if ever I got a ride to school, I did make the school bus. Whatever morning show was like Hot 107.9 in Atlanta. They always had those fun little segments and game shows. I kind of miss that.
That's like
That
the
was
only
the-
time it was funny. Now you're listening
Yeah.
to an adult and you're like,
It's like,
"This is
ugh,
dumb."
like turn this shit off.
Yeah, just a bunch of announcements over the
And
music.
ads,
Yeah.
and ads, ads. I hate. Sorry. Oh, right there. I hate ads. Ads are everywhere. Add that to the list.
Well, everybody hates ads.
What's too
Don't
many?
add that to the list. Everybody hates ads. Like I'm trying to watch a Hulu show. I'm trying to watch The Golden Bachelor.
Passionate about
Yeah.
my hate of ads. I'm passionate about it.
I want to say this, like what I'll start, but what is your peak memory about, in general, your favorite memory about growing up in the 90s? I know for me, like, when I think about the 90s and like peak time to where I feel like I was like really happy, it's just like during the summer. Like during the summer, I lived across the street. Our house was across the street from my grandmother's. So I spent my summers there. I have a big family. All my cousins would be there. We would just be outside playing with kids in the neighborhood and just going all around on our bikes, and just like that to me was just like peak happiness as a child. It's really sad. The Kool-Aid, like the popsicle, homemade popsicles and stuff. Like we did all of that growing up, and kids these days don't.
Who had homemade popsicles?
Yeah, so
Your grandma?
well, she would do it sometimes, but there was this lady in our neighborhood who would sell. She would call them ice cups.
Okay.
And she would make Kool-Aid and pour them in
like an
cups.
ice tray, like a bigger ice tray.
No, she would take like solo cups and fill it with Kool-Aid, and then she'll put a spoon in it, and then she'll freeze.
Industrious.
We did that.
Yeah, and she would sell them. And
Yeah, so she was a candy lady.
We'd eat them like popsicles.
I used to love the candy lady. You get like $1 with like everything. 4 quarters.
So much
I don't
candy.
know a candy lady. I never knew a candy
Maybe that might be a black thing.
No,
That sounds amazing, but it sounds creepy. I'm sorry from the outside.
It actually is because
Candy lady.
back in the day, we didn't.
Yeah.
Candy man.
There was no
She's a
worry.
lady.
I mean, because people in the neighborhood knew who it was, so it wasn't alarming.
yeah, mine was a neighbor. So literally, she had a window in her through her kitchen in her backyard, and you just walked up to the candy lady's window and knocked, and she had
That's efficient.
yeah. But it was. She's also the one that got my parents into my mom into heavy religion, but that's a whole different topic.
She was selling more than the candy. She was selling the good word of
And the feet
Jehovah.
and the feet
Yeah.
washing.
the feet washing.
That's where it came from. Actually, that's legit where it came from.
But yeah, so that's when I think about just the 90s and growing up in that era, that was probably like my favorite memories.
Yeah, I was gonna. I kind of wrote something down similar to that because my peak of the '90s was like I talked about earlier, like going outside playing with your friends all day, like not having a cell phone. You can't check in with your parents. Not that I didn't want to, but just taking your bike and your friends just going all around the neighborhood, going in the woods.
Freedom.
Yeah, which is
But
kind
like,
of.
it wasn't even freedom because you were just down the block.
But it felt like freedom for that. Yeah.
Crazy because my parents didn't care.
No.
Really? My mom
Nobody
was like,
did.
Where are you?
Like my parents worked during the day, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we would be
yeah, I do
home.
remember it kind of long. You remember how long those days would be though?
Felt like forever.
Yes,
I'd
like
be like, finally they're home. I need
like,
some order restored.
for
I
me,
never
it was
wanted them
like,
home.
Make sure you stay at your, stay within sight of your grandma. And my
Yeah.
grandma was like from the country, so she was like, just come back.
I think for us, like at that time, the parents knew who we all hung out with. So if they didn't hear from me by a certain time, they would call. Like it was my friend Jimmy growing up. They would call Jimmy's house because we always hung out at his place because he had all the games and stuff.
Yeah.
So they just knew who to call if they didn't hear from me after a while.
Well, for real, they knew the parents. I remember one time, this is crazy actually. Me and my best friend Cody, he lived down the street, which seems so far away, And one time we would skateboard, but we were skateboards, we would strum the guitar, we were really musicians, but like we were in this like kind of ditch and we found a condom, an open condom, right? And it was just like a joke where we like threw it at each other or whatever.
Such a kid
And
thing.
then we brought it home to his mom's house because he lived with his mom. And she, was just in the room. She kind of did her thing. But then my mom came over and it was very like, check to see if everything's okay. And so my mom sat down and she saw the condom. And my friend's mom was like, and so it became this thing where my friend's mom was like, it wasn't my condom.
Right.
And I was like, we actually found it. And my mom never believed me.
What? So she think that your friend mom was just showing you guys condoms or something?
I don't know. She let it go.
Eventually, yeah.
I mean, but like, had y'all ever got grounded, gotten in trouble?
All the time.
All the time, yeah.
How long have y'all been grounded? What's the longest?
Oh, my mom never really grounded me. I would say the grounding came more from my dad. My mom was like more disciplinary one, but it was more like whoopings, like spankings or whatever. And then it was over after that. But my dad would kind of be like, oh, okay, you can't watch TV for like 2 days.
Yeah, I think the longest grounding I had was probably 2 weeks. And something else I just thought about too is, you remember at some point kids used to get spanked in school. where I
Corporal punishment.
Yeah.
right, which is legal now, but where I went to school at, literally, I remember getting one spanking. I think so. I think I was on that cusp where it literally just stopped. I was maybe first grade. I don't know what I did, but I just remember going to the office, which is in the front of the school, and getting a spanking for something. And then
What'd you do?
I don't remember what I did. My memory, I probably did actually. I think I was a smart ass at a young age.
By the time I got to school, that was not a thing.
What, like talking back or
Spanking.
a spanking? Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
No, yeah.
was
My
definitely-
parents would never allow that.
Yeah, because you're also born in '91, so
Oh,
it
that-
already stopped. But yeah, like I said, I was
You
just
aren't really like necessary in this episode.
What do you mean? I grew
Because
up
you're
in the
sitting here
90s.
talking about like, oh, back then in the '90s we were riding.
I
bikes.
lit-
So, meanwhile, it was 2005. I had a mustache.
I grew up in the 90s.
I mean, kind of.
Well,
Kinda. I was
At
born
the
and I
turn of the
grew up.
century, at the millennium, how old were you?
What, 2000? I was 9.
God, I was
13.
y'all was 13. You were 13 too.
So yeah,
I thought you were
that
gonna
was like
pull
that
some
was some-
bullshit.
I was about to, but I was like, God, I wanted
I was
to.
gonna say the 90s was kind of like top era, but then right under it was like early 2000s.
I mean, nah, the world changed then. You know, like
Early
September
2000s.
11th changed everything. The iPod changed everything. Like the 90s.
That's early 2000s.
But the 90s was so pure and innocent.
You know what it
That's
is?
why I feel like I got the we got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think what happened though is in the
You guys had a little
2000s.
longer, though.
Yeah, I think the 2000s.
I'm happy to.
The thing about the 2000s is when technology started to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s was like almost a perfect pace where it started to pick up towards the end of it, but it didn't pick up too fast. But as the 2000s came, I think things started to progress so much faster.
Right.
I think that's the biggest difference between the 2000s and the 90s. Just the speed of things just wrapped up.
Yeah, where we are now, back
Way.
then, it's like light years.
Yeah, because I don't think there was so much change from like the maybe 70s, 80s, 70s and 80s probably. Those 2 decades, there probably wasn't a significant amount of change as opposed to 90s and 2000s. Like in that 20 years, we got the iPhone and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, growing up in the like 70s and 80s, this doesn't sound fun.
that shit sounds trash. I'm sorry.
really
It sounds
I
trash.
mean, I feel like the 80s is cool. I would grow up in the 80s.
No.
Maybe if you were like the drug uses was kind of
Partying.
partying and stuff was
the
probably
cocaine was really good back then.
like the hippie era was like a thing that my parents had like afros. And
My
stuff
parents
like
did too.
that. Like,
See, the style was
the style.
But the style of the 90s was unparalleled. Unparalleled. It was badass. Now we're just like repeating. We're just like, oh, this is kind of 70-ish.
Yeah.
This is kind of 90-ish.
we definitely was that for Halloween last
we were
year.
70 dudes.
So-
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely, I don't think like today has
Wait a minute.
distinctive style.
Should we do 90s for Halloween? Some type of 90s something?
Oh, yeah.
Like it could be like a 90s movie thing or something that happened in the 90s. Let's think
Okay.
about
Yeah,
it. Let's-
I'm down.
yeah.
I'm gonna have my left eye swag on with my condom on my.
Oh, that's actually so good.
actually, that
I
is
got a
good.
condom unit, bro.
Okay. Hopefully not used.
I don't have those.
That's a different topic.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about some things that we loved or miss about it. What you got, Antonio?
What do I miss the most about the 90s? Blockbuster. So as someone who, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies now because when I sit on my couch and I'm scrolling, if I don't know something from social media or recommendation, I don't feel like looking, but it was a thing going to Blockbuster on a Friday night, finding that movie for the family to watch, or even finding when they had video games. So that game we couldn't afford because my parents weren't going to spend $40 on a game.
Yeah.
That $3.99, it was like $3.99 for like a weekend.
Yeah.
Me and my friends would get whatever game we wanted to play. Friends would come over, whether it be sports, and we just all play it and burn through that game for the weekend. So I miss Blockbuster.
I used to beg my parents to take me to like Blockbuster or what's the one that was in Walmart? Movie Buzz or movie something.
Not familiar. I'm not familiar with this one.
Walmart had
hardcore
one.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, we only rented
It's
from
like,
Blockbuster.
I used to beg my parents, like, please take me. Like, there's a movie I want to get. Like, let's go rent movies. And, I'll have to save up my allowance to go
Really?
and, like, rent movies sometimes.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't want to see the movie.
Well,
They're like,
if
"You
it
gotta
was
pay."
something that I particularly wanted to see. But what is there's always one movie that you always got over and over again. Do you guys have one? Because I do, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it.
Space Jam is one that just like sticks out. One I just remember specifically like my grandparents. I would spend the weekend with them or the night, and they just didn't know. You know, they were
Right.
so sweet, but they're like they let me get anything. So I saw
Everything.
balls, boobies.
Wait, so literally, like, because like that's been my biggest fear. Because sex scenes to me are already pointless. But you with your family, when they would watch a movie, a sex scene came on, it was just like whatever. Or
No.
okay.
My parents were very. I mean, I was religious, so they were like, this has. They would cover my eyes or make me leave.
yeah, okay.
But my grandparents were just like, yeah, you can get this movie, and then they would go to bed, and then they had a VCR in like my room,
Yeah,
and I would just put that. Sometimes I would rewind, fast forward, rewind.
Oh, of
fast
course.
Forward, just
Yeah.
so I could catch a glimpse.
That's
Yep.
crazy. I rented Roger Rabbit.
Oh, Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, such a great,
That's solid.
it's such a great movie.
Oh my god, I'm glad you brought that up. I would watch it. Have you not seen it, Tom?
I know it, but you know what it is. So no, there's certain things from the '90s I just don't remember. Like I probably did watch it, but it didn't implant a lasting memory. But I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
We have to have a movie night. That movie is so good.
I'm down for that.
Top of the list.
It's very like it appeals to children, but it's not a children movie
Yeah,
at
it's a
all.
murder mystery.
Yeah, at all.
Oh, and that bad, the villain was
So
scary.
creepy. So
was he not
creepy.
scary?
Creepy.
I wouldn't know.
So
No, he's not gonna be scary for you now.
it
But
was
he might.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit and then Meteor Man. I loved Meteor Man.
That was with Robert
remember
Townsend.
that.
Was that Robert Townsend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meteor Man.
That because I had a crush on the villain.
I
And
mean,
his
I'm
blonde
seeing the
hair
VHS,
was-
but I'm like not seeing the VHS.
It's a black superhero film. It's it's real black.
Then I'm not seeing the VHS.
Probably not back then. Yeah.
No, but it's such a classic. But yeah, like I just remember just like renting those movies all the time. But that's cool that you like that's something that you miss.
Yeah, it's just that was a moment in time. Just that Friday night, because it was the one thing you look forward to, and it was. The only time I was ever disappointed. I got more into the video games as opposed to the movies.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what movie I rented, but I just remember like being excited about the video games because my parents would buy me the console for Christmas. So whatever Christmas I'd have whatever console, but they're not gonna buy me 10 games a year. I maybe got 3 from a year, so I had to rent for the. They paid the $3.99.
What is this? What are you talking? Super Nintendo?
I mean,
So-
in the '90s, the two big consoles were Super Nintendo and the Sega. Yeah.
Also, because I googled this, the Nintendo 64 came out in the 90s as well too.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a Nintendo 64.
I did
I
too.
did too. That was
That controller was the worst. That was the worst
the
controller.
worst. All of a sudden, you could go like 360 instead of going like just
It was cool.
sideways.
Right.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
But it did. It speaks to like the things were simpler back when.
Right.
It was just all you had to do was go right.
When $50 for a console was a lot of money.
Yeah, now the games are $80 just for the basic
for the
model.
game.
Yeah, without the unlimited edition.
And it's so crazy because I was very blessed as a child, and my parents, I think, did a real good job with spoiling me and my sister because I didn't have a Sega, which is wow. My cousin had a Sega, but I didn't have a Sega. I did have a Super Nintendo. I did have a Nintendo 64. I got a PlayStation. I got a Dreamcast. I had a PS2.
You had all of them.
Damn.
I was very lucky to have those things. I didn't get a GameCube, but my cousins had a GameCube.
I did not have a GameCube.
I did.
I'm glad I didn't.
But it was a weird.
In the 90s, like playing my Super Nintendo, it was basically Super Mario
That's
and Donkey Kong.
that was like you had to have that game on.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
almost
that
like
was
it came with it. If you bought it, it came with it.
Yeah. Yes.
Totally. And Mario, he saved some lives. You know how people on Twitter talk about Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Kid Cudi saved my life.
Mario
Like,
saved
Mario
lives.
kind of saved.
I've never seen or heard that before.
Yeah.
About Kid Cudi.
Well, if you're not a fan, you won't see his stuff. But
Okay.
yeah. But for me, actually, it's actually the theme of 2 of my tattoos. Zelda was one of my favorite games. Which
okay.
Zelda came out way before the '90s, but that was always a staple for Nintendo.
Yeah.
I
Never
2 of my tattoos, which are going to get covered up at some point because I got them in my early 20s, are based off Zelda. Which
Really?
yeah.
Which one?
There's no video yet, but these two.
Yeah, those were Zeldas.
Oh,
Yeah, the Eye of Truth, and I forgot what this is the
That's
whatever you
one of
call
the
it.
main symbols. Right?
Yeah.
The top one.
You
but-
said Zelda saves lives.
You know what? That little big eared guy in the little green skirt saved my life.
I thought Zelda was a girl.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
So technically, yeah, Link is the main character. but
Right.
It's weird because Zelda is such a name, but yeah, it's Link. Link saved my life basically.
Okay.
So
Okay. I mean, a woman can save your life too, Antonio.
she I'm not. Listen, don't listen.
You
Whoa.
know, it's well established.
Let's
He
not.
doesn't respect women. Video game characters
Let's
or rappers.
no. Hold on. We are not doing this Antonio hates women narrative. We're not doing that.
Well, speaking of, you said that Blockbuster.
You good?
Yeah, fine.
Blockbuster is one of the things that you miss. One of the things I miss is the food.
The food's the same. What?
Yellow Wendy's. I miss yellow Wendy's.
don't know
Yellow,
what that
okay.
is.
Wendy's was yellow back in the day. It wasn't red. And then they had the yellow French fries, not these real potato cut French fries. And the patties were actually like square.
Wait.
I do know
Hold on.
exactly what you're talking about.
You said not
So
those
much
real
better.
potato
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
fries.
Wendy's tastes so much different now.
It's
and
better
chime
now.
in to listeners if you know what I'm talking
You
about.
said Wendy's tastes better now?
It's better now.
No, back in the day.
It's better now.
Back in the day, Wendy's tastes so good.
Wendy's was not. It was better now.
It's better now.
The square, they still have the square.
It's still
patty.
square, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not.
that
It's
hasn't
not as
even
square
changed.
as it used
The
to
fries
be.
are better because they're real
The
potatoes.
fries are not better. The fries are worse. The
You know what
sweet
you're saying? It was probably a lot more unhealthy back then.
Probably.
You're like, I miss when it gave me
miss-
clogged
I miss it.
arteries. as an
I miss my
8-year-old.
trans fats.
Yeah, I miss the trans fat. I'm like, I need my food yellow.
Exactly,
You know
exactly.
what yellow is? Cornstarch.
and McDonald's. Like McDonald's used to taste better back in the day too. Fast food in general just used to be better
Because our taste
Remember when
buds.
you can go in Pizza Hut and sit down and eat at a buffet.
yeah.
I do miss. Oh, hold on. Nah, it's kind of. When I was in Amarillo for work before we started, there actually was a Pizza Hut bar
That's wild.
Oh, that's awesome.
that was
I've
dead.
never. I haven't
See,
seen one of those in a.
that's like-
I saw
Yeah,
it by
that's like
accident.
the
It was
last
just. It was a bar.
Blockbuster.
They had alcohol, but the down kicker, because Pizza Hut doesn't sell Coke products. I ordered like, oh, let me get a Jack and Coke. We got Pepsi. I'm like, you can't do Pepsi and Coke.
Yeah,
Or
Pepsi
Pepsi
and
and.
Jack.
Yeah, I was like, never
Why,
mind.
That's
that's
nasty.
weird. Why can't you? It's still
Because
a
Pizza.
sub-
No.
Pizza Hut, just like Taco Bell.
Yeah, like certain restaurants have certain contracts they can't sell.
No,
certain
but
products.
what's the?
It's still they're still
I
selling.
don't
it.
really get the difference between Pepsi and Coke. I know that there is one.
There's a huge difference.
The Atlanta Emmy just got really offended by that, by the way.
There's
because-
a huge difference between
So-
Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
Are there people out there that order Pepsi and Coke?
There's
No,
I don't know
I'm not
anybody that
Pepsi
orders
and Coke.
Pepsi.
Like a Pepsi, like a Pepsi, Jack and Pepsi.
No.
If you do,
Why isn't that
Not
a-
on purpose.
The candy lady.
Why isn't that a thing?
Because Coke is
isn't
just
that a thing?
to me, Coke. They're both colas, right? They're similar, but Coke tastes more. It tastes more like rugged, if that makes sense. Pepsi's like, oh, it's soft. I don't know. That's the way I can explain it. So I can never.
It tastes like flat.
Yeah.
Pepsi tastes like fair Coke.
Yeah. Like
You know
like
what Coke tastes at the fair?
No.
or like Dr. Pip and then Dr. Pepper.
Big difference.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
That's how I compare Pepsi
Like
and Coke.
like-
Dr Pepper, so
I don't
like
even.
Dr. Pepper? Okay.
That's a Texas thing, by the way, Greg. Because
Really?
when I first moved to Texas, real quick side story. I remember I was working for like DirecTV for like a hot second. I quit, but
Of course you did. Just like your lease. I'm gonna quit this bitch.
Antonio, third of the podcast, fear of commitment. But I remember like we would go to people's houses and like people offer you a drink, and this is before I realized Dr. Pepper was actually manufactured here, and literally everyone was like, "Oh, do you want a Dr. Pepper?" And I didn't understand why is everybody offering me a specific Dr. Pepper, and I didn't realize Texas is a Dr. Pepper state. So
I did not know that.
I mean, Dr. Pepper's good. Did you come around to Dr. Pepper?
no,
Really?
it's still trash.
No.
It goes flat so fast.
It's just not good. I don't like. It's like root beer. I just don't like it.
It's good. Dr. Pepper's good. That's the only thing that the Pepsi company has going for it is Dr. Pepper.
That's for.
Oh, that's a Pepsi product?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a Coke product.
Yeah, you
Wait.
would think that because it's so good.
Let me fact check this real quick, Mr. Googles.
Yeah, I've never really liked Dr Pepper at all. Hasn't
Yeah.
really been a drink of choice for me.
Don't need it.
Is that the segue? Oh, but we know who the owner of Dr. Pepper is.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Apparently.
Snapple.
Yeah, Snapple.
Snapple was big in the 90s. Remember? Because I think
really
they
was.
always had
The pop.
on the caps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like quizzes or just random facts or something like that?
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
random facts.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
was interesting.
It was fun.
As far as like a gimmick, it's a pretty good one.
It works.
There were
Because
a
I
lot
don't
of-
remember what Snapple tastes like.
Gimmicks were a big thing in
Oh,
the
yeah.
90s. Like,
I mean, Laffy Taffies.
Laffy
They had the
Taffies.
jokes that
Yeah.
never made me laugh once.
No, they weren't funny. Or like, remember when the popsicle sticks would have like a joke or a phrase
Like
on
a
the
dad
stick?
joke. They still do.
Oh, I haven't had a popsicle in forever.
Oh, me either. I would not.
Me neither. Oh yeah,
Because we don't have kids. You can't. You have to have kids as an adult. You have to have kids have a popsicle.
That's not true. I have popsicles in my refrigerator right now.
It's like just because.
You need to put them in the freezer.
I mean, oh my gosh.
They're gonna melt.
Damn, that was good. That was good, Greg. I'm sorry. Wait, you just have popsicles just because? Or just
Yeah, because we like popsicles.
Okay.
I'm calling CPS. I don't know.
90s moment was leaving Titanic and being so sad.
You actually saw that in theaters?
Yeah. I did it with like my family. It was like my extended family too.
Oh. I didn't see it. In
We had to
theaters.
learn about
I didn't
our
either.
history.
Well, we didn't go to a lot of movie theaters in the '90s, so yeah.
My ancestor was on the Titanic.
I mean, my people were like serving people on Titanic.
Well, a lot of us were in the water too.
Yeah.
So
You know,
that went dark.
I don't know.
That went very dark.
Titanic really wasn't really like a. I understand how it was a big pop culture moment. I understand how it was a big pop culture moment back then because I think it brought a lot of exposure to what happened. But even though that story isn't necessarily true,
I mean, no, it's not true.
so I don't know. I don't really get the big fascination about the Titanic.
Because it's about a
Wait,
love
wait.
story. It's about
What
a
it-
guy from,
well, the-
you know, across
The story
tracks.
part. I mean, the ship actually was real, and
Right.
but the story itself. I mean, of course, for a movie, you have to like make up a compelling story.
But today, the fact that we just had a situation where people are still trying to see the Titanic,
Yeah.
I don't really understand
That part for sure. Yeah, it's
With the Titanic, and now we're going way back past the 90s. But like when the Titanic came back, it was like unsinkable. They were like this. They like put it in the newspapers because that was the like method of communication. They were like, this ship cannot sink. No
Isn't
matter
that
what
crazy?
you do, this ship is unsinkable. And then
it's like it's so sad.
and somebody made $1 billion off of it.
Yeah, they jinxed themselves, and that was the biggest movie
At that for a long time. Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
we should have looked that up. What was the biggest movie in the 90s? What else would have come out that competed? Star Wars,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
That was good.
I forgot all about that.
Okay, so favorite 90s movies as a kid.
Oh, that's funny.
already said
Titanic literally is the largest grossing movie in the '90s.
Crazy. What's
Yeah.
second? What's the second largest movie in the 90s?
Oh, that's fine.
Research department.
Research.
Remember when you took 20 minutes to look for the gay white rapper? Me and Antonio were just like
not-
trying to talk.
We're not bringing that
Stretch.
up. It only
And
took
then you were like, Lil Meat Grinder.
Big Dipper
Busy.
and podcast magic. It only took 5 minutes.
Yeah, so we fired our old research department, got a new one. So I do have the list of the top 10 movies. I got top 50, but let's do top 5.
Do 10 to 1.
Fair.
We know
Okay.
Titanic is 1.
So the number 10 highest grossing movies in the 90s was Armageddon, which came out in '98 with Tom.
That was good.
What's it? Bruce Willis? Why did I say
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was number 10. Number 9 was Men in Black, the original one.
Great movie.
That was 97. We know Will Smith and
That's
yeah,
wild.
a while back. So number 8 is The Lost World, Jurassic Park, which came out in '97.
Okay, that was good. That's solid.
Number 6 is, I've never seen this, The Sixth Man,
That's
which
a
was
football movie, right?
Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis.
Is that a football
Willis?
movie?
No, it's kind of horror.
The
don't
Sixth
think-
Man.
The Sixth Sense?
The Sixth. Oh my God, I can't read. Yo,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, my bad. I'm still working on this whole mic reading
No,
situation.
I see dead
Okay,
people.
you said our research department.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
Hey.
Googling shit.
Episode 2, we're good. We're good. All right. Number 6. The number 6 movie in 1990s was Forrest Gump. No, that was 94.
Forgot about Forrest.
In 1996, for number 5, we have Independence Day. I definitely saw that in theaters.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Is Will Smith in that one too?
Yeah.
He was Independence Day. Yeah,
That was a breakout.
yeah. That might have been like his first like super block.
Why did I think the Wild Wild West was his breakout role?
No, that was
That
years
was like
later.
the movie that flopped.
Yeah, that was years later.
That
The
was
Wild
like,
Wild West flop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
For what
I didn't know
what they spent on it, it didn't do good.
Okay,
when
I
you're
didn't know
a kid, you're like, oh, the toys are at McDonald's. I think they're at Burger King. I don't think McDonald's even got those toys.
that. We got to
Oh,
come
wow.
back to that.
Yeah,
because
forgot about that.
yeah, the toys at restaurants was like
The Happy
peak
Meal
in the
was
90s.
fire.
The Happy Meal.
Yeah,
I was never upset about getting a Happy Meal.
Never.
No one ever is.
Never upset.
Yeah.
Going back to you saying McDonald's tastes better, the chicken nuggets were just
Different.
I still eat.
Yeah.
I still eat chicken nuggets as an adult.
I mean, I got them this last Friday night.
Sometimes when I'm drunk or high, if I'm out late, I'll get chicken nuggets from McDonald's. I'm a little ashamed, but I'm not ashamed. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not ashamed to say
We'll
it.
come back to this.
Yeah.
What was the...
So we're at number 4 now. The number 4 movie in the 90s, top 10 grossing movies or whatever, is The Lion King, which was 94. Number 3, this came out in 1999, barely made the cut. Star Wars Episode 1, which
that
is
was weak, right?
terrible.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
I mean, I like Jar Jar though.
Do you?
Yeah.
We just see.
Fair enough.
You also like puzzles.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that later, too.
Yeah.
So number 2, we're almost there. Number 2 is, somebody mentioned it earlier, this was the original Jurassic Park, because if you remember, Jurassic Park: The Lost World was like number 8 or whatever. So number 2 is Jurassic Park, which is 93. And then, of course, number 1 is Titanic, which is what we started the conversation with.
Right. And there you go.
There you go. Movie corner.
Movie corner. I wanted to touch back on the getting toys at a restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What peak times.
What peak times, but also it was genius for them to do that, because it was like, of course I'm going to see this movie. I'm going to see Tarzan or whatever, you know?
Such a great movie. But not only toys, but collectible cups.
Yeah, the cups.
The cups too. The glass cups they used to.
No, my parents never bought the glass cups, but
sorry.
but yeah, it was sad. But I got the toys. No, the toys for sure. Because the only thing I didn't like about the toys is you couldn't choose. So sometimes you would like you're trying to get the Spider-Man collection or whatever they're selling at the time, and when you get the same toy twice, it's like I already got this one. So that's the only thing I hated, is not having a choice.
Yeah. What are some 90 toys or gadgets that you guys played with?
Okay, the number 1 gadget I think for everybody is Super Soakers. It had to be Super Soakers.
Which was created by a black man, if you didn't know
Really?
that. Yeah.
Let them know. Tell them.
I mean, they just heard me. They just heard me.
What are their names?
I don't know. That trivia, I'm not ready for.
Well, no. Listen, I know who created the Super Soaker. Engineer and entrepreneur Lonnie Johnson is the inventor of the Super Soaker.
That's a black name right there.
That is, yeah. I knew one Lonnie. The best-selling toy generating well over $1 billion in sales over its lifetime.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And kids these days don't even play with Super Soakers.
They don't. If it's not on their phone, they don't want it.
Have you guys heard of a splat gun?
A splack.
A splat gun.
No,
That sounds like an ad lib in a rap
I
song.
went to a pool
That's
gathering at some apartment complex. It's like a paintball gun, but the pellets are filled with water.
Interesting. That sounds fun, actually.
And they hurt.
Oh.
These aren't like.
They leave welts?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah.
that seems very.
And they have like different guns and stuff. That's the new water gun these days. They don't play with Super Soakers.
Things were way more simple back then.
Crazy.
A splat gun? That sounds like training kids to be.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go that dark, but.
No, that's an ad lib in a Gunna song or something like that.
And they don't.
Splat gun.
They don't know what it's like to like fill up water balloons one at a time.
That was trash.
There's
Okay.
gadget these days.
I'm sorry.
fill up
I'm
20
glad
at
some
one
things technology is
Yeah.
like good
But
like
still,
bravo.
I
that
have to,
shit
like
was-
my hands are shaking
My
trying
hands
to
are
like,
shaking.
tie these water balloons.
Yeah, I hated that. I'm sorry. I hated the work. I hated filling them up. If they were ready to go, it's all game. But if you got to fill it up, that sucks. That's why the Super Soaker, you find the water, pour it in there, go. That was fun.
Yeah, Super Soaker was top tier. Also, I collected Hot Wheels
Oh yeah, me too.
growing up.
I
Yeah,
played
and
with them.
The
The tracks.
Yeah, the
I didn't
tracks
have a
that like
track.
went all the way upside down.
Yeah.
And, like
I didn't get that
loop-de-loop.
I did have multiple cases, briefcases where I kept all my Hot Wheels in, and then some of them my mom would let me open because she'll be like, "Oh, this is gonna be worth some money one day. This is a really nice one. Keep this one in the pack."
What about all that shit that
Yeah.
like that you thought was gonna be worse than what you did? I had like a full. It was like 1994 X-Men cards, and it was like, I mean, you're a nerd, Dom. You would know.
Yeah, I
it's like
played
the
my
full
cards.
season of all the whatever. So it's every single character.
Yeah.
Like, where is that? I want to sell that.
I wish I had my Pokemon cards. To this day, I wish I held on to my Pokemon cards because they could have been worth some money these days. And now I don't even know what happened to them. Also, I
Babies?
I had Beanie Babies. Yeah. You
Those
didn't?
I thought those were for girls.
That was Beanie Babies were a big deal. In the
I wasn't
90s.
like into them. Were you?
Not necessarily.
I love that for us.
Weren't those for girls though?
My parents, my mom did. Yeah.
Yeah.
She loved Beanie Babies.
I thought those
Did
were
she have
for.
Princess Di?
But hold on.
Princess Diana?
From Star Wars.
No.
Oh my
no,
God.
Princess Diana.
No, but like the Beanie Baby Princess Di was like the one that was supposed to like, that was like the crown jewel of the Beanie Babies. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
But I had all 50 quarters for all 50 states.
I never got all 50, but I do remember getting a little map and putting the quarters in.
that
but I
was a
never-
big
yeah,
thing in
that
the
was
90s.
fun.
I think I did.
I think my dad still has my
Yeah.
quarter book. But yeah.
What's that about? Why were you like as a kid just like, oh, now I have Iowa?
I don't know. I don't know what maybe it'll be worth some money one day.
You were competing against somebody. I know you were like, I'm going to get all 50.
your neighbor,
Yeah, you
My
were.
cousin, yeah. I just I had to get that those
Dom,
quarters.
be competing.
I mean, I was competitive. We're just like growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s. We played games outside.
played games.
We played kickball.
Yeah.
We played football.
Basketball
we
on
played
the street.
Basketball.
And you know how like they say that this generation is all like consolation prize and shit. Mm-hmm. We were also like the last generation that it wasn't. Like
Yeah.
that. You know, like
Exactly.
you lost, you lost.
You lost.
Do you remember MTV? Like how good MTV was, like when it was just like music videos.
I used to hate MTV because it was just music videos. Like, oh,
Really?
I'm tired.
I
of
loved
something.
music at the time,
it,
back then, yeah.
But I grew up watching game shows with my grandma. So the
Everything is falling into place. Like
a lot of things make sense with you right now, Dom.
like the piece of a puzzle. Like
I spent
just
a lot
falling into place.
I spent a lot of time watching
That is so good.
the Game Show Network. Me and my grandma watch those shows all the time.
Actually, question. So, did you spend a lot more time with your grandmother than
your cousins?
your cousins and actual parents?
No, but my grandma lived across the street from
You spent a
us.
lot. You spent a lot more time with her than you would have like me and Greg. Because my grandmother lived in a different state. I'm sure your grandmother did live.
Oh, I mean, I
was
I
super
fucked with my
close.
grandmother. Yeah.
But she didn't live across the
We rode
street.
hard. She didn't. She
Yeah.
didn't.
So
Yeah, I grew up in the country, so my grandma her house was across the street from ours. So
were y'all on a dirt road, like that type of country?
no,
Okay.
they were like
It was paved. There were street lights.
No, like my family, they grew up in like trailers and like it was like a rock, gravel, dirt road. So like,
Interesting. Because I feel like I'm once removed from cross plains Texas, like out in the country. I would actually go stay with my great grandmother. And it was like in the middle of nowhere, dude. And I would stay for like a week at a time. And
Yeah.
I was just like a fat little kid, you know, reading The Shining by Stephen King. And she had this dog named Cookie. And Cookie was paralyzed from like, I guess, the waist for a dog.
old people love a paralyzed animal.
Dog, right? But she never got like the like little
Crutches.
crutches, not the crutches, but the wheelie
wheelie.
thing. And so Cookie just dragged
Oh.
his front legs everywhere, and so
that's how you know animals are pure because they can be like crippled. They don't know. They just want food and attention.
And love.
so
That's
sweet.
it.
And I complain about my apartment every week. So
Yeah. Oh my god. You're no Cookie.
But yeah, my grandma meant a lot to me growing up just because like when my parents were working, like I said, during the summer when I couldn't stay home by myself,
Yeah.
I spent my summers across the street at my grandma's.
that makes sense about
you
you,
know, my
Dom.
family would be there,
Yeah.
my cousins and everything. We practically grew up together. So back in those days, everything was just like so easy.
It was so easy, it's so chill, but also it was like confusing, you know.
Very
You know,
much.
for guys like us.
Ooh, that's a yeah.
It was confusing time. There was a time when you were kind of like, wait, you know.
In a way, I kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about music? We never talked about
I
music.
know we gotta talk. If we finish the episode on music,
We
definitely.
have to. What are some of your favorite music artists back in the 90s?
I mean, the fact that you like weren't into MTV, I just remember one time it was like watching TRL and it was like the Beastie Boys and then went into like Lauryn Hill, that thing, doo wop, and it was just like that's the 90s. Like getting out of Titanic and being like so sad, and then like those two music videos together was just like 90s.
They
Like
just picked your spirits back up.
yeah.
But I guess it was interesting that we had so little resources to find music. So it was either you're watching MTV or BET or just your local radio. So it's not like now where we have 1,000 ways to listen to it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I remember watching. I did love the music video countdown shows.
Yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy that.
TRL not as much as like 106 in Park, but
Right,
I
yeah.
yeah, but I watched all of it because that was the only way you saw the artists you liked and those fake interviews in front of Times Square and the big window and all that stuff. But I missed the countdown shows.
Same, they were good.
Yeah.
You got off school and you went home and it was like, what's number one? You
Got
know?
to see Carson Daly.
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
he was the '90s. He was cool.
He was
Yeah,
the first
he was
DJ.
cool.
I mean, now he's
Technically.
like the voice and he's like
He's just
a person, but like he was like
I forgot he was on The
badass.
Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite all-time music groups of the 90s is TLC. I love TLC.
Oh yeah, TLC. Yeah,
love
so we
TLC.
were. My parents were very like they wanted to know the lyrics of the music, the CDs we were buying, you know, and somehow Red Light Special, Crazy Sexy Cool just slipped in there. So
They
my
said,
bigger
"No
brother.
TLC."
If you had an older sibling, they put you on to good music. You were. Did your sister? I'm sure your sister like put you on to good
Yeah,
music.
I mean, my sister was like always older than me.
Yeah, of course. She still is.
We never really got along, you know,
Yeah.
in the earlier days.
Oh really?
Yeah, you know. older
Is that a
sister,
thing?
younger
Because
brother, we're-
me and my brother, we fought. Like we fought.
Me and
Yeah,
my
me and my
brother
sister would
fought
argue
like
and stuff
no
all the
one
time.
else. Yeah.
So
we
does
fought
every
a
sibling
lot.
just fight basically until they get a certain age? At a certain age, it just stopped. It was like, oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was about to go to college, I feel like that's when
yeah.
our
It was
relationship got
actually it was about 2020. My brother just flipped a switch.
Did you say 2020?
stronger. A couple
What
years ago.
2020? Yeah.
Wait, like just recently?
Yeah.
It took that. We all
guess,
wait.
yeah.
So was y'all beefing this entire your life?
Yeah. You weren't?
No, we after we like I think at some point from either middle school to high school somewhere we were just like, you're my brother. Like the fighting just stopped somewhere.
Right.
But that was not 2020. It was like
20 years ago. I mean,
jeez, wow.
What's the age difference?
2 years older than me. Why were you unpacking this?
Yeah, sorry.
You're talking about the 90s.
It just threw me off. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about music. So yeah, TLC was huge for me. Britney, I already said, you know, well, off the record. On the record, one of my first crushes was like Britney Spears. Like I love Britney Spears.
But did you like her body or did you
Yeah,
like her
I loved
dance
everything
moves?
about her.
Yeah, she was sexy for sure.
Yeah, she was the princess of pop.
She was.
And the Spice Girls. That's how I knew I was gay, honestly.
For real?
Yeah.
Which Spice Girl were you?
Ginger. I love Ginger.
Really?
Something about a redhead.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a red mustache.
I love Ginger. She was my favorite Spice Girl. I probably still is my favorite Spice Girl.
I mean, yeah, no, my brother definitely had the Spice Girl CD, and I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like an alternative rock kind of. I like the artists that were like the hair in their eyes and like
Well, like-
dirty and grungy.
Like
you know?
Limp Bizkit type.
Yeah, I mean, that was 2000.
That's like commercial.
Yeah,
Is it-
I'm talking like
Kid Rock.
yeah, Kid Rock. Yeah, I'm thinking more like Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh yeah.
Like Radiohead, like or
You too.
U2. I mean, that's more 80s. See, you don't know.
You just throwing out names.
I was U2 more 80s. Aerosmith.
80s all the way.
Oh, okay. Well,
They've been around
but
for a
they were
minute.
big in the 90s.
I mean, Armageddon soundtrack. Yeah, that was their comeback.
What was that big song?
If I could lay awake just to hear. Why?
That's a good karaoke song.
I
Now
mean,
that I
what is
think
your
about it.
go-to 90s karaoke song?
I don't
Red
have
Light
one.
Special.
Really?
That's sultry.
I can't imagine you singing that at all. I can't
Love that
imagine you singing karaoke, either of you, honestly.
So
Yeah, I've sung karaoke a few times.
the last time I did karaoke, I was drunk and I sang like a T.I. trap song because I'm from
Hate
Atlanta.
to see you do karaoke.
I have to be extremely
We should
intoxicated.
We should do one of those private karaoke
I'll be
rooms.
down. There's
Yeah.
a place in Bishop Arts, like right around the corner. Yeah.
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 Since we didn't get to go to the fair, you should set that up as your next event.
I wait, and I hope y'all show up.
Yeah, we'll definitely show up for sure.
90s fashion. So 90s fashion.
Oh man, the baggy jeans, the
Baggy everything.
I don't know, all the graphic tees, the t-shirts.
Those are still around though.
Well, back in the 90s, they were just like more prominent.
Yeah, they were like new though. Now
Like
it's just,
everybody
like,
wore 'em.
90s
Right.
throwback stuff.
Yeah.
The bright colors.
The baggy
Neon.
jeans, Jinko,
Yeah.
Abercrombie. I mean, that was maybe more 2000s, but Doc Martens.
I know the name of Doc Martens, but I have no idea what that actually means. Or
I was
what-
alternative,
okay.
style.
I have no image in my head of what a Doc Marten
Did you have
is.
one of those wallets with like a chain?
Yeah.
Oh, you were that kid.
I fully went in.
Okay.
I had a t-shirt that was like an alien on like the shirt, and it said alienated.
Were your nails painted?
I mean, no. Do you have starter jackets?
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
starter.
I don't thought you meant Walmart starter jackets.
Or like the starter jackets of like
The brands.
Yeah.
Starter.
Yeah, but like, did you have a team or anything?
Yeah, because they had like a lot of sports teams starter jackets.
No,
I don't remember what team I had. I want to say Charlotte, but I feel like everybody had Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets.
Yep.
But I did have a starter jacket.
My sister actually sent me a picture
Of the
of us in the 90s. I don't even, this was randomly. I didn't even tell her what the topic was.
Was that sent like today?
You were keep.
It was, she sent this
But your sister hated
yesterday.
it.
Yesterday.
So we're looking at oh
My
man,
sister, my
that
cousin.
wood paneling. My grandmother had that now. She still does, but that all the gold tacky. Oh my, this looked just like
in the
yeah. I think every house,
windbreakers.
I think every house looked the same.
Wait, let me see again. Where y'all at?
That's literally.
I don't know. I can't remember where that
I think that's every black grandparent's house. Yeah.
love wood paneling on the wall.
Yeah.
Love that.
Honestly, throwback.
Yeah, but we definitely should do that. We should definitely do 90s for Halloween.
Okay.
Are we established
What should we
this
do?
right
But
now?
let's do something like not obvious. Let's do like starter jackets.
Okay.
I mean, starter jackets, and do we like some denim jeans that don't fit very well?
Yeah.
It's like light colored denim
Yeah,
jeans.
like yeah.
If I could find some LA Gears or
Pull out your
Reeboks,
chain wallet.
Okay. I'll find it.
if I could find some LA Gears or Reeboks, I'm in.
Yeah, I gotta.
I got a big old puffy jacket. Hopefully it's cold.
Yeah.
So what about shoes? Because the one thing I remember, did you guys have light up LA Gears or light up shoes at any point?
We love. Yeah.
I didn't.
You didn't have the light up.
didn't
Oh,
get any light up
that was
shoes?
so
I'm
fun.
sorry.
I was grounded.
Sorry.
But yeah, the LA Gears was popular. The Reeboks. I remember kind of when we got like a little bit older in the '90s when we got into fashion, like Filas were hot. I just remember. Okay, I did have Jordans as a kid, and that's one of those things when you talked earlier
You had
about
Jordans as a kid?
a couple.
I didn't have Jordans.
Yeah, my parents, that was like the one thing during Christmas they would buy me. So I'll get a pair of Jordans. And I look back on it now, when you talked about collecting like Pokemon cards, had I known what Jordans were, my parents at one point got me the Jordans that came in like a suitcase. And literally, the school I went to, people were bragged about everything. So people would bring these shoes, these Jordans, whatever model they were, because I don't know shoes like that. They would bring the suitcase of Jordans to school just to walk around with it.
No
because
way.
you knew like, oh,
I
those.
don't wear them.
Yeah, dude, everything in school that I went to was about flexing. So
Yeah.
the kids who had the money, with the parents who had the money, yeah, they brought that suitcase just to carry it. But yeah, we had a couple Jordans, and I would play basketball. I played on the playground, recess with them. I was scuffing up Jordans, and I could have had thousands of dollars on those shoes had I known what they were going to be.
Had you known? But I mean, they're kid size, so
Yeah, yeah.
What are you gonna do? It's like
Yeah.
having a beanie baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
They served their purpose. They got scuffed up and playing and dirty, so and they got thrown out.
did you guys have like a lot of posters and stuff on your walls? And-
Yo.
I tried to do the poster thing one time. Yeah, I did. I went to like
couldn't
whatever
do
the Spencer's gift was. Yeah.
My parents wouldn't allow me to put posters on my wall.
Oh, really?
And I also never got a lava lamp.
Oh, I had a lot
I
of fun.
wanted a lava
I bought my
lamp
own
so
lava
bad.
lamp when I got money.
I wanted a lava lamp so bad.
Spencer, they came from Spencer's too.
Yeah, remember going to Spencer's and they had those cards that were like,
Spencer was dirty.
yeah.
It was- Was that Spencer? They treated Spencer's like it was like a sex store.
They really did, and it
back in the
wasn't.
day, and it really wasn't.
It's yeah,
It really wasn't. I mean,
honestly, I don't know how they're open now because kids have so much access to stuff now. They see everything we couldn't see at 5 years old. So
Right.
I don't know how they're still open, but they're open. I'm gonna go to Spencer's the weekend and just see what's
what
in
about
there.
the mall? I mean, the mall is kind of a dead thing. You don't go to the mall that much these days.
No.
All back in the day was just kind of like the place to go.
Yeah, it was popping. Go see a
place to go.
movie,
Yep.
go to Chick-fil-A.
Eat in the food court, run around.
Yeah.
You would flirt with girls or
Chinese food don't
hang
even
around with your
taste the
friends.
same anymore.
It does.
Chinese food don't even taste the same anymore.
You know what's Dom? Hold up. What's happening is you mentioned like taste of food and things. I think our taste buds got more developed. Our taste buds were trash in the 90s.
Probably.
But
Like-
I want to go back to that simplicity.
I
that
know.
innocence,
Yes.
you
Oh,
know?
no,
And it's
I
just
agree with that.
Yummy,
Yeah.
You know?
But I promise you, Yellow Wendy's wasn't that much better than.
Yes. You know what? Sound off in the audience if y'all believe Yellow Wendy's was
A thing.
a thing.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing.
It was not a thing.
It was.
Your taste buds were underdeveloped and they were immature, like you were.
There was the trash.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and this topic. I enjoyed this. It's talking about the
it was
90s.
fun, right? Like back in the day,
Yeah.
those were the good old days. I'm actually probably gonna put on some nice music after
You
this.
should.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about the 2000s, you know.
That could be an episode. And actually, talking about the 90s made me feel good because honestly, that's when life was simpler and
Yeah.
just everything was fun.
90s was good. I don't think the 2000s is gonna be that good. Like, what are we gonna talk about? September 11th?
Oh my God, what is wrong?
I mean, voting.
Titanic and now
But that's life. I mean,
11th.
no. You know what? We absolutely should.
Sorry, did the Titanic affect you?
My people.
But no, we actually do have to do a 2000s episode because there's such a difference of us going into adulthood. And I think topic wise, we can cover some things, some really important life
I mean, that
changes.
would be high school for us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know about
I
you,
mean,
but-
I was in, well, not the early 2000s, no, but
We can still talk about it because I think mentally.
I have to talk about AOL and how important AOL was to me.
By the
When
way,
you catfish, I guess.
somebody on this podcast, hold on. Somebody on this podcast still has an AOL email
Not
address.
somebody, it's me.
It's you.
I'm proud of
And
it.
he will not get rid of it.
Proud of it. That AOL account is going to be worth some money one day.
It's not.
Really?
It's
I don't
not.
think so.
Dom, it's not. They barely exist. I'm surprised your email still works, to be honest.
The 16th.
Your email gonna start working one day.
I've come across so many people who still have AOL and it's like a family. I see and I'm like,
Listeners, sound off.
we're right here.
Y'all are trauma. Y'all are trauma
AOL
bonding.
people.
That's trauma bonding.
Y'all are hating right now. AOL is the way you guys touch the internet for the very first time.
Hey, when you log into AOL, does it do? They don't mean it.
Dom,
It does not.
I'm just gonna say this: if you ever apply for a job, don't use your AOL email because
It's on there.
they're going to judge you
It's
on
on
that email address. You're gonna get
They're
denied
gonna
jobs.
say, he's mature.
He's dusty.
Ageism,
He is mature.
Dom. Ageism is a thing. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. They're like 50-year-olds.
He's got a AOL.
Until next time, everyone, do you want to shout out our social media?
Yes. So just remember, please go to our Twitter.
Oh, no. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. We got a question. I'm
Oh.
so sorry.
Since when?
I didn't read a question.
Yeah, what?
I had one. One of our listeners sent us a question.
Okay.
And he says it's probably something we've already answered before. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wants me to or not.
Do I know?
Yeah, say the state
No.
born in the country.
Oh my gosh. He says, I really want to know what made you guys start a podcast. I really enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying the conversations you guys had. Just wanted to know how this came about.
Oh, I mean, we've answered this.
But
Yeah, it's something that we've answered before, but it
it's-
was a
Thank you for the
question,
question.
you know, and
Dom got us all notebooks, and the rest was history.
Dom kind of forced us. He really threatened the friendship and said we had to do it or he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't talk to
We're
us.
not game. We were not game. I will say.
long story short,
Can,
it was-
can I reveal
it
that
was-
me and Antonio had a side text chat? And we were like, I don't know. We're gonna be able to make
We kind of did.
oh my gosh. So what happens was we were sitting by the pool. I had this idea. I brought it to them. They said, sure. And 6 months later, we have a podcast.
Here we are.
Here we are.
6 months. It seems longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Summertime. It probably was like 6 or 7 months after that conversation.
Summertime? Yeah, for sure. A whole winter pass.
Yeah.
Because we started in the summer.
No, we started in February.
February.
Did we?
February 19th, 2023.
Well,
It was a brisk 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm nostalgic for that period.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so everybody sign off with their like 90s like CEO wouldn't want to be
Oh man, that's a good one. I didn't think of that. See you later, alligator.
Cowabunga dude. Simpsons. I don't know. No? Okay.
No, that's good.
Until
sorry.
next time, everyone.
Smell you later.
Oh, that's a good one too. Can y'all let me end the podcast now?
We don't want it to end. Never.
Gosh. So that first episode was an hour and 27 minutes. Until next time, everyone. See you later.
We out.